this is going to be very different. This is just me talking because there's not a lot else I can actually do graphically or imagery wise for what I'm about to talk about. I attended a conference a few days ago with John Grant, and it was one of his talks. And John Grant's the founder of Nine Tiles, and he also worked on the what would now be called the operating system for the Sinclair ZX80, and since then he's been working on protocols for streaming media and basically transportation of audio and video across what we regard as normal across the internet, but he's actually doing more work on it to try and shrink down header sizes or initial byte sizes that marks the beginning and end of transmissions, etc. Now, I had a good talk with him after his presentation, and I probably spent about half an hour or so chatting. And I've got to say, he's a really nice guy. I mean, really nice. Takes the time with anyone who's interested in what he's doing. And I kind of veered away from his side of it slightly by, suggesting that a lot of stuff should be done in the logic or the firmware rather than software, because everything's getting slightly too bloated, etc. And I picked up on one of his points from his presentation, where basically 5G, with the new 5G network that's rolling out, there's a problem with basically bit sizes getting too large. So basically your packets have a header on them saying where it's from, what it's looking for, start point, etc. And they're getting too large. Okay, so because if they bounce from mast to mast or server to server to get to where they are, to find whichever part of the internet you're looking for and which server the data on you're looking for, etc. The strings of bits are getting far too long, and it's causing problems. Now, there's also an issue with IP routing, which is your normal internet protocols, which everything now uses across the internet and has used it for some time. And he's been one of the people tasked with getting around this and hoping to propose a better system. Now, at the moment, your packet or your request is bounced from mast to server to hosting to wherever it needs to go, and each time it's adding a bit on to the initial header, so to speak. Now these headers are getting long. Now with 5G, what they're trying to do is go direct, which means they're going direct from literally your handset directly to the phone company's servers. That kind of cuts out the IP addressing as we know it now, and it's a direct route, so then the headers are shorter because they don't have to add on extra bits from being moved from one pillar to post. Now, it's a good idea, and it will save battery life on the phones, and it will speed up communication, and it will get around some of the IP issues that you have within 5G, which sounds great. My problem is, and he alluded to it as well within his speech, is that you will basically not be using the web as it is today. There will eventually, in my mind, then the web will eventually become a redundant form, because what you will have is routing direct to and from a telecoms companies' servers, and that's it. And then it will be polled out to other servers within that telecoms group, etc., and so on. And it will never ever touch the web as a whole. Now, that will put the internet in the hands of telecoms giants, and it will take away the resilience as well that we have with the internet or the web, because it was originally designed as a military application where, you know, you could take out part of it, but it would reroute and recover, because there were so many nodes or so many servers, etc., on the web that they would be impossible to take out the entire thing. So you would always have uptime, you'd always have functionality. Now, you're not going to have that many servers, you're not going to have that many server farms, you're not going to have that many nodes if telecoms companies get involved, because they're going to want to bring it in-house, which is a natural thing to do. So you'll have maybe 10 or 15 telecoms companies having complete control over traffic across what used to be the internet. Now that's not going to be a good thing. It also means they will technically hold all of the information about you, your handset, what you're buying, what you're interested in, what you're looking at, which videos you watch, which way you vote, all within their company on their own servers. And it also holds it kind of open to abuse, or if somebody decides to destroy one of these hosting centers or sabotage it or virus it, then you're going to lose a large chunk of connectivity which would have been rolled over on the internet as we know it now, and you wouldn't have lost that functionality, but you will do when there's only 10 or 15 major companies hosting what would be the new internet. So they envisage the likes of 5G taking over our current network structure, which is, you know, a lot still relies on cables and fiber and so on. So it would be on the periphery of the internet as it is at the moment, but eventually, because mobile phones are everywhere, eventually it would be mainstream and the internet would be sidelined as we know it, eventually to just go into decline in the same way dial-up did and bulletin boards did. Now that's got to be a bit of a worry, and I think that people, you know, who are working out, such as John Grant, who are doing it because it's a project and because it's something that they want to solve, is brilliant. But we kind of need to look at it more of a bigger picture here and say, do we really want telecoms giants controlling the internet in its new form, killing off the current internet, because that would be the old form which wouldn't be used anymore? And it's just a thought, and it's just a thought as to where we're actually going with it. Not a very good thought really, because the internet was meant to be a place of freedom, but it wouldn't be if telecoms companies got hold of it. So I think it is going to be the direction that we're moving in, and it is going to be a bone of contention further down the road. But I think these things need to be started to look at now, really, to solve that issue. It's just 5 minutes thoughts. Okay, thanks for listening.